before we come on to injuries and the game, etc., let's chat about transfer window stuff, shall we? To begin with, how's the search for the number 9 coming along?
Yeah, good. It won't be available for the weekend, but it'll be done before the window shuts. So, yeah, pleased to get this one done. Again, it gives us a different option at the top end of the pitch, so pleased with that.
What does this new player bring then that maybe you felt was lacking then?
Just a different type to the 3 9s that we already have in our building. So, yeah, it brings pace, brings power, brings physicality. It's all our 9s are different in terms of that. So, I think it's a good fit for us. And like I always say, when the window shuts, it shuts. So if we can make ourselves stronger, we always will.
Tayosi Olusanya is one of, look, not the only name, but a name that's done the rounds. Is there any sort of credibility to that?
I think you know me by now. I don't speak about clubs players. That's not something for me to do, and I don't want to talk about speculation or, for that matter, another team's player. So for me, like I say, we've worked hard to get this done, and I'm hoping, like I say, it's done before the window shuts.
If in the event that happens, then would you be looking to add to any other areas of the squad?
No, we're pleased. We're pleased with the squad. We're pleased. That's the only area we felt we could just add a bit more at the top end of the pitch. So we're pleased with the group. I think apart from Gotzi, everyone's fit, ready to go for tomorrow. So yes, just like I say, I'm pleased with the group. We've got players in every position, and when we can make changes to the team, we've got players that come in and can capable of just playing as well as the ones who are in the team. So I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, so no intention then of letting anybody go then either?
Look, you never say never. We're not actively looking to push anybody out the door. But like I've always said and reiterate, really, if players want to go and play football, if they feel like their chances are limited, then I'm always here to give them a helping hand on that. But at this moment in time, do I see anyone else leaving or going out the door? No, possibly not. But things can change. Nobody's knocking on my door saying they're not happy and want to go and play football.
So look, everybody's fit then apart from Gotts, so that must mean good news on Molyneux, who had an issue after the Accrington game. Yeah,
we're lucky with that. It was a horrendous tackle, scissor sort of action tackle, and I remember Jack Senior got sent off. I think it was Jack Senior. Was it Jack Senior away to Morecambe, or one of the games last year? I think Morecambe springs to mind. Yeah. Where he made a similar sort of tackle and got sent off, and that's why I said, after the game, it was probably a red in its own right from the boy, but he's caught Mols heavily, on his ankle, and he had a scan. We were fearing the worst, because it was on his tibia, and the swelling was really bad, but touch wood and the grace of God and everything you can imagine, it's just a bruise. So he's good.
Has the injury that got acquired, is that something that there'll ever be a timescale placed on it by the medics, or is it just see how you go when it ultimately settles down?
See how you go, I think. He's got a little bit of a rupture in his thigh, a strain or whatever you want to call it, a tear. So it's just how quickly he settles and how quickly we can get him onto the pitches. But it's a frustrating one for him because he just twisted on the game and overstretched. So there was nobody near him or anything like that. And it's just a frustrating one for him at Huddersfield. So, and like I mentioned last week, he's been in good form. He's settled in really well into the group. So it's a blow for us losing him. But we've got a lot of bodies in there, players that can come in and do well for us.
Could I ask at this stage, and look, I know there's a bit of time for all concerned, but are you sort of set fair that the Bradford game's going ahead with regard to international selection, etc.?
I haven't even thought about that, Andy, honestly.
All right.
The last thing is on my mind, really. The only focus really for me is the game tomorrow. Appreciate the question and all that, but I've no idea. I've not even the Bradford game's not been mentioned at all, really, around our staff or anyone. It's really just been the next game. But if you're asking about international call-ups, then yeah, we've got 2 international call-ups with Sean Green and Charlie Crew. But that's it at this moment in time. I have no idea what Bradford have, but our only focus is Rotherham.
So let's talk about that then. Local rivalry. What's your assessment of the Millers currently then?
Firstly, it's good to see Matt get an opportunity in management. I've got a lot of time for Matt. I've known him over the years, always seen him out at games, and he works very hard in terms of trying to educate himself and also doing a lot of work on the opposition. So for the last probably 4 or 5 years, I've always seen him at games, albeit with Warney, because he was with Warney for a while at obviously Rotherham and Derby. So it's nice to see him get an opportunity. Obviously coming up against our local sort of rivals for us really, and another South Yorkshire derby is exciting, and for the fans it's a great occasion. So we've got to make sure we just focus on our job, what we're trying to do, our game plan, understanding the strengths and what we think the weaknesses of the Rotherham team is, and hopefully put our team on the pitch that can go and deliver our plan and get us the 3 points.
And what do you think their major sort of strengths are right now?
Look, they're a team that's obviously a new management team, and they've got a new manager, they've got a new first team coach, a new assistant manager, Woody and Tongi, people who I know very, very well. So they're obviously throwing ideas about and trying to get the right, formula and team and selection and everything. So as you know, and as I'm well aware, that these things take time. So what I do know is they've got proven experience in their team. They've got pace and threats at the top end of the pitch. They've got very good footballers in the middle of the pitch, whatever 2 or 3 they play in there. So I know it's going to be a tough game. It always is. It's a derby. There's going to be an extra edge on that. But we've just got to focus on the game. We can't get distracted by, all the stuff that surrounds the game. We've got to focus on our game plan and making sure we get that right.
It's interesting, yeah, all the stuff that surrounds derbies. So this weekend, Barnsley are playing Huddersfield. You know full well that there are a lot of local games this year, whether it be South Yorkshire rivalries specifically, West Yorkshire rivalries overall, even, Mansfield, etc. Not a rivalry, but not too far away. And sort of who deals with that will ultimately probably be the more successful across the course of the piece, because there's a lot of games in this season that are derbies.
They are, and it's nice to be a part of it, really, because when we came into this league and moved into this league, and we knew we were coming into this league, we knew right away that there was a lot of games in and around the area, which is brilliant for our fans, brilliant for both sets of fans, really, because they can get to see those type of games. Less travel, things like that for the players. So yeah, it's an exciting sort of season. All these Yorkshire, South Yorkshire derbies. And like you say, even Mansfield's not too far away. So yeah, it's good. But it's the next one for us, and we've got to make sure we get the plan right.